to the RunnerX podcast, where we talk about all things running. As many runners know, it's 90% mental. So join Coach Valerie and Coach Caroline as we go through the mental side of running. Welcome back to Tough Love Tuesdays. I'm your host, Coach Caroline, and I'm here to talk about the mindset of running and why it is really important with running. So if you're a runner and you're listening to this podcast, you're probably going to say, oh, Caroline, I totally get why mindset's important. You know, they always say the first mile is the liar, right? You have to get past that first mile, or the mental side of running distance, or even the mental side of running sprints. So distance, you need to be able to overcome like what your body is capable of doing. And when you think, oh my God, I can't go any farther, that actually you truly can. If your mind believes you can, your body can go farther. And then, of course, when you're sprinting and your heart rate gets up and you're breathing really heavy, that whole thought process of, I can still do this, my heart is just beating fast. But what I wanted to kind of delve into a little bit is something that Valerie and I talk about a lot on Fridays. We talk about this idea that I feel light. Maybe I feel awkward, or I feel light, or I feel lifted, or I feel encouraged. We talk a lot about the terms we use. And it's been amazing lately as we talk more with our students that work with us, how if I can get them past those buts, those blocks that lock them out of moving forward, that's really when the shift happens. So the practice is very important. Incremental focused practice is extremely important in learning a new movement pattern. But the real shift comes when their mindset shifts. And that mindset shift is made up of a couple of different things. First, they usually believe right off the bat in Valerie. That's why they came to Valerie, right? They believe in the information and the copy and the stuff I write, and even my mindset podcast like this one. So they believe that we can help them. That's not a problem. They also believe in the testimonials. So you believe in the method. You believe that there are people out there that are having great progress and great testimonials with this. The third one, and this is the big shift that happens, is that they believe that this is capable for them. When you are able to say, this is not something that only happens to others, but that I can have this experience as well, and I believe that it is part of my DNA and what I'm capable of doing, that's when everything opens up. When you stop resisting and fighting and talking negatively, and I mean things as benign as, well, I was trying, what you were doing with the pony, and I just was slogging along, or I felt really out of sorts, or, there's so many other small things, or I just felt heavy, or I got nothing. Those are thoughts that don't serve you. If your whole intention is to be forward thinking, is to be good and open and positive about what you're doing, then you need those thoughts to be in your mind while you're training. You need to think things like, okay, I'm working on, unweighting. Don't think things like, I got nothing, or I'm feeling large or heavy or fat or whatever you want to call yourself. Think I'm light. Try to really connect with the idea that my ball of my feet are what are touching the ground, but my heels aren't set in the ground, right? If I want to really unweigh, this is a topic that Valerie and I talked about just this morning. This idea that when you want to unweigh yourself, you can unweigh yourself by simply connecting with your feet and having your feet, the ball of your feet, be what's holding up your weight, that your toes can still move and that your heels aren't really touching. You can move your heels up very easily. So the bulk of your weight, probably 60+%, is actually on the balls of your feet. Now, if you walked by me and you saw me standing right now, you would see my knees are bent and you'd see my feet on the ground, and you would not know where my weight is. You wouldn't know if my weight was on my balls of my feet, on my toes, on my heels, you would just see me standing here, right, with my knees bent. As soon as I shrug, as soon as I lift my center up, it forces me forward. It forces me into a fall as a unit. I can't help it. It's just, it happens. Your heels come off the ground because your body weight, the body mass, is connected to the ground on the ball of your feet. It's that small. It's that much of a nuanced movement. And to you, you're thinking, oh, it can't be that easy. But let's go back a second. If I want to think light, if I want to think running is when both feet are in the air, when we want you to be not on the ground, the less time you spend on the ground is less time you have impact, is less 3 times your body weight. It's more just lighter. And I'm trying to think of, I can't think of the best word. I'm sorry, I lost the wording that I wanted. But the point is that is what makes you truly, truly connected to your entire being. If you're trying to just shrug your shoulders and just put your elbow, your shoulders up to your ears, then all you're doing is talking to your shoulders. You're not talking to your midsection. You're not talking to your knees. You're not talking to your feet. What I want you to do is start thinking of yourself as a unit. Start thinking of yourself as an athlete. Start thinking of yourself as a light being that passes through the air and passes through gravity, but you can't control gravity. So these are all the thoughts that go into the mindset of running. So it's really funny when, and not funny, funny, like that is so interesting when Valerie and I talk, because we realize that as soon as somebody says, well, where's my foot land? Or how do I put my foot? I'm heel striking, or should I be touching on my midfoot or my forefoot? We know that their thoughts are not correct, because if you're thinking about where do I place my foot, then you're trying to control gravity, and you can't control gravity. All you can do is control your pull, right? Is the up of your foot off the ground, right? That's it. And then the only thing you can even possibly think about is the up of the next foot, is that change of support, is being only on one foot at a time in air. Like almost if you think of like I'm running across hot coals. So this week, think about the real mental side of running and not the, ugh, I have to get through this. This is hard. I want you to think about how your thoughts about yourself, about how you connect with yourself, how you connect with your feet, how you connect with your midsection, how you feel as you travel through space, how that can truly affect your practice. And again, like I always say, you don't have to believe me, but give it a try. You have nothing to lose, right? So give it a try. Let us know if it works. Get on our Instagram. Send us an email at support@runrx.fit, and let me know if you were able to feel that shrug, if you were able to feel your body actually unweighing, and if your thoughts had anything to help you. Okay, guys, talk to you next week.
Thank you for joining us on the RunRx podcast. If you'd like to know more, join us at www.runrx.fit. And if you have additional questions that you'd like answered on the podcast, email us at support@runrx.fit.